Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. I am your host, Kim, aka Bravo Breaking News on Instagram. And we are fresh off of movie night, part 1 on Love Island USA. And let me just say that the drama is out of control. And we are not even close to the end of movie night. I mean, guys, the last 3 episodes have been probably some of the best television I have literally ever watched. And yes, I watch all the Bravo franchises. I watch all the Real Housewives. I gotta say, Love Island is top tier. It is delivering. And I am here to break down the last 3 episodes of Love Island. That is episodes 24 through 26 from Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday night, because there is a lot to discuss since the Casa Amor recoupling, and I have thoughts. So I am going to break them all down, but before I dive in, of course, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any more Bravo Breaking News and Love Island recaps. Okay, so much has happened, so I am just going to break it down couple by couple. And I thought we start on a happy note with Kendall and Nicole, because Kendall and Nicole were the couple chosen on this week's episode to go to the Hideaway. This is like their own little villa. It has a hot tub. They have their own bed finally, and they get to spend some alone time together, which none of these couples have been able to do yet. They definitely seem to be the strongest couple. They chose each other in the recoupling. They really aren't straying away, and that continues in the Hideaway. They say to each other that they are officially closed off. I guess that is the Love Island term for them being exclusive. Now, they are not saying that they are boyfriend and girlfriend or even going to continue dating outside of the show, but I guess they are closed off. They are no longer looking at other bombshells, and I'm happy for them. I am happy for them. I've said from the beginning that I think they have a genuine connection, although I do have a bone to pick with Kendall, because I think that although I've liked him up until now, as the Love Island kids say, I'm starting to not like the way he's been moving, because he has definitely been egging on the boys to not be faithful to their women back at the villa, especially in Casa Amor. And that was shown at movie night tonight. We all saw it. He's almost like encouraging them to go explore these other connections, saying how they're stronger than what they have in the villa. And he gets exposed and called out about it. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of Kendall. Do you still trust him, or are you not liking the way he's been moving recently? Because it's kind of rubbing me the wrong way, and I wonder if it will also have the same effect on Nicole now that she's seen it. Okay, so let's move on to Kenny and Janae. So of course, Kenny brought back Kat, and I didn't see that going anywhere, and I don't think he really did either. The second he saw Janae, he knew that he was going to pick her. They have this whole fight. You know, Janae is very emotional, crying to him, be like, I don't want to be anybody's second choice. I want you to choose me. And he basically right away says, you are who I want you. He has this whole breakdown. He's crying. He is so emotional about it. He basically says he was confused, and that's why he brought Kat back. But by Tuesday night, they are back together. He says that he wants to be with Janae. He tells Kat that he wants to continue as friends, and that is that. I saw this coming. I don't think Kat is going to last much longer in the villa, though we do have 2 new bombshells coming quite soon, so we will see what happens with that. One thing I am very surprised coming out of Casa Amor is Miguel. So, of course, Miguel brought Sierra back. He said to us that she was like his perfect specimen, that it's almost like she was created just for him. But I have a feeling all of these connections in Casa Amor were definitely more physical. There wasn't really any emotional or mental connections made. And that definitely shows with Miguel, because they get back and it kind of seems like there's nothing there anymore. Everything was kind of left in Casa, and his eyes are back on Leah. And, he chooses to actually break it off with Sierra, which I was really surprised about. He seems to be back in with Leah. They do have some really cute conversations. I think there is definitely chemistry there. I think Leah definitely likes Miguel. I mean, she chose him in the recoupling. So it's interesting to see. I mean, she basically says she likes how Miguel has been open and honest since he's been here. And I have to agree. He's been super transparent about how he's been moving. He hasn't done anything behind anybody's back. And he's been, I don't know, kind of honest. So it's interesting. I don't know. I didn't trust him. I thought he was a 100% fuckboy, but maybe that's almost to his advantage because he hasn't really locked in with anybody. Therefore, it gives him the flexibility to kind of go back and forth and make decisions and be transparent about them. Speaking of Sierra, so let's talk about Kane and Liv, because once again, Liv couples up with a guy, and as Janae says, she takes another L. I mean, Liv cannot catch a break. She cannot catch a connection. She can't make a connection in this villa, it seems like. I don't know if it's her or the men that she's been coupled up with, but there seems to be like no sexual chemistry with her or any of the men whatsoever. It's kind of crazy. I do feel bad because she breaks down in the makeup room saying, you know, why does this keep happening? And I don't know. But Kane senses it as well. He says he sees her more of a friend, and he now has eyes for Sierra. And I actually think they make a really cute couple. I am interested to see where that goes, though he didn't tell Liv first. So Liv is kind of pissed about that. But she always acts mature about all of these situations. They talk, they're good. So it kind of seems like Kane and Sierra will probably stay in the villa and become a couple the next recoupling. Okay, now before we get into Aaron and Kaylor and Serena and Kordell, I just want to quickly talk about Rob and Daniela. There's really not much more to say other than that they're coupled up. We really don't see them spending much time together or talking. Yeah, we've seen a little bit of them here and there, but I guess they're there. I guess they're doing well. You know, we see them have some flirty banter, but there's really not much else to it than that. So I guess that's that. All right. So let's get to the real issues at hand. Let's start with Aaron and Kaylor because there's a lot to discuss here. And I'm not sure if you guys watched After Sun on Saturday, but I found out something that was very, very interesting that I really, really hope Kaylor finds out as well. So we know that Kaylor was obviously sent the clip of Aaron and Daniela in Casa Amor. She saw it. She was super pissed and upset. She screams, "Fuck you, Aaron." Well, apparently he heard that. One of the Casa girls went on After Sun and said that they could hear her screaming that from the villa. And once Aaron heard that, he figured that she must have found out something, and that is when he started pulling away from Daniela. Now, this definitely rubs me the wrong way because it kind of seems like Aaron would have continued doing everything as long as Kaylor didn't find out. But the second he found out that she knew something, that's when he started pushing Daniela away. So I really hope that Kaylor finds this out. She's found out a lot of other things since then as well, so let's dive into that. You know, of course, Kaylor and him have several emotional talks. You know, he pretty much says that they pecked a couple times, him and Daniela. First lie. He feels guilty, but he still wants Kaylor. They quickly make up. She's so emotional, but, you know, he pretty much apologizes to her. They make up. They're all good. They sleep together in soul ties the first night he's back. So obviously, I mean, it was always going to be that way. I knew they were going to get back together quickly. However, something comes up and it is the shower comment. So I guess Aaron and Kaylor, you know, talked about taking a shower together forever and they finally did. And apparently Aaron said the same thing to Daniela. And that completely sends Kaylor into another spiral. Aaron tries to explain it was a joke. This is taken out of context, etc., etc. I mean, she completely loses her shit. I don't know how many times this girl is going to bawl her eyes out on national TV, but I don't know. I don't think we've seen the last of it. He doesn't see what the big deal is. She says, "It's a big deal to me, Aaron." They have another chat about it, and then we get Aaron pretty much just giving up and giving Kaylor exactly what she wants, and that is, "I fucking love you, Kayla." And it's, like she said, exactly what she wanted to hear. She says, "I hope you're not trying to manipulate me and make up for everything that you did in Casa." And that is exactly what he's doing. I mean, she knows him. She just doesn't want to think that it's all true. She wants to think that they live in a fairy tale and that he actually does feel this. Maybe he does, but it is definitely to make up for what he did and to diffuse the situation. He wants her to feel better. He wants them to move on. I think he does want to be with her, but he wants to kind of erase everything that happened in the past. And by saying these words, he thinks that it's going to happen. So she's all happy. She's running around the villa telling everybody who will hear it that he said this. And then movie night comes. And of course, we know that shit's going to hit the fan. They see the scene with the shower comment. And yes, he was kind of joking. It was definitely in a joking manner. But I think that is just the beginning of what we're about to see on movie night. Okay, so finally, let's talk Kordell and Serena because there was so much going on with them. I mean, I'm kind of rooting for them, guys. They've been one of my favorites since the beginning. And I do love them together. Their feud was so amazing to watch. I mean, that scene when Kordell comes in and brings both Daya and Serena breakfast, and Serena just goes, whoop, knocks it right into his chest. Nope, don't bring that shit to me. Nope. I mean, that was amazing. And to top it all off, he wipes it off and eats the egg. I mean, only Kordell. Then we have Serena and Daya actually talk, and we get this amazing cover of The Boy Is Mine. I mean, chef's kiss to the editors and the sound people on this show because they get it right every single time. And I do have to call out Daya for being 100% transparent about what went down in Casa. She does not lie for Kordell. She tells Serena exactly how it was, and I commend her for that. She calls out some of the boys. We get a pop-off from Serena because all the boys were kind of egging them on, of course. I told you guys about Kendall, and, I think a lot of the other guys were saying similar things as well. So Serena kind of pops off on all the guys. Then she pops off on Kordell. They go to the dock. She basically says, you disrespected me. You made a better connection within 24 hours. I'm done. She pretty much cuts it all off, doesn't even give him a chance to really talk. And then she hears about this whole 90%, 10% thing. Let's talk about how this transpired because it is a complete game of telephone. I mean, so Miguel tells Leah that Kordell was basically saying during his time in Casa Amor, 90% of the time, he was still talking about Serena, where 10% of the time he was all in on Daya. Now, I don't really know if that's true, but then it got skewed completely, and Leah basically said to Serena that Kordell said he was 90% Serena, 10% Daya. Daya said that never happened. It spirals into this whole thing. Meanwhile, Miguel, who's the one that started it all, is just sitting there quietly hoping that nobody remembered he started it. So that was something. We also got a little tidbit in the challenge where social media was saying that Daya was in OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., who is Kordell's brother, in his comments and DMs on Instagram. And honestly, I believe it. I knew her motives were not genuine from the beginning. And although she denies it, I don't know, the sleuths are going to sleuth, and I'm pretty sure we're going to find the receipts. So Daya kind of starts to realize that Kordell is kind of moving away. She says it point blank. They had a very physical connection in Casa, and once they get back to the villa and Serena is there, he's not touching her, he's not hugging her. He kind of wants nothing to do with her. So she's kind of seeing that, and she's given up. And they have this conversation where it's like they're both trying to cut it off first. She's like, well, I don't want him to dump me because I'm dumping him. And I've been talking about it for a whole day before he came up to me and tried to, dump me. So they're talking over each other. He's trying to say he wants to be with Serena. She's saying, I already cut it off. And that's that. She wants nothing to do with him. So that opens everything up for Serena. They go to have another chat on the dock. And, he basically begs for Serena back. And she's like, I need a second. I really need to think about this. You hurt me. You disrespected me. And he says he's going to give her time. I have a feeling she's going to forgive him, even though she said she was done. I do want to see them get back together. However, I am a little bit concerned if they continue this relationship out in the real world. Kordell is so young. He's a little bit immature. And I don't know. I have a feeling I'm not sure it'll last. However, I'm still rooting for them and I want them to make it work. Okay, so at movie night, we did get a couple clips that were pretty major and caused some drama, but the bulk of it will happen on Thursday. So what we got was the handshake, very similar to Kaylor and Aaron's. Aaron and Daniela also had a handshake. He tries to deny it was a thing. It's there clear as day. We also get the whole shower comment in context, which I already talked about, and I think that kind of explains itself. It was in a very joking manner, but of course Kaylor's going to freak out about it. We see Kendall egging on the guys. We also get Liv versus Leah and the whole Andrea vote situation with Rob. And where I stand on that, I'm kind of team Leah. I also agree that although she agreed, let's vote Andrea out, these are the reasons why, she was not the deciding factor. She was not the driving force. Maybe backseat wasn't the right term, but she did play a part in it, but she wasn't the sole part of it. It was a team effort. Then we get Serena saying that her connection with Kordell wasn't very intellectual, making fun of the Cheez-It sponsorship. And I will never forget this. I mean, I will never forget that Kordell's long-term goal is to get a Cheez-It sponsorship, because I'd also love a Cheez-It sponsorship. But, you know, this was towards the beginning of their relationship. She says things can grow, and that, in fact, did happen. So I think he will forgive her, but I still thought it was hilarious, and I agree with everything she said. Then we end on the whole Leah and Rob situation. This is after Rob kind of dumps Leah for Andrea, and Leah's basically talking shit, and they show it to everybody. Rob gets his feelings hurt, and now everybody's having a pity party for Rob, and it's like, I just don't like how the producers are almost kind of, at least in this episode, definitely spinning it in more the boys' direction. They're putting them in a pretty positive light and kind of spotlighting the girls and the shit that they've said about the boys. And I just don't think it's fair. I think that what Leah felt was genuine. It was authentic. It was her emotions in the moment. And if she wants to shit talk Rob, she can shit talk Rob all she wants. I just don't know why we all of a sudden have a pity party for Rob over this. I continue to be team Leah. I don't know, maybe that will change, but right now, I stand firmly on team Leah in both the Liv and the Rob situations. Okay, guys, so that is where we are at, and movie night is going to continue on Thursday, and that is where the real shit is going to go down. And of course, I'm going to be back on Saturday to break it all down. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss any more Love Island recaps and Bravo breaking news to come.